Hey, Brave Master, welcome back. Today's conversation, I am going to share with you all about the 5 myths that I see about speaking and speaking up and getting visible in your business and all of that. So just want to share with you the 5 things I see that are really just not true. That's what a myth is, right? So for you new to me, I'm Jena Rodriguez, and I am your business and Brave strategist and founder of Brave Masters. And I'm committed to helping entrepreneurs worldwide speak up and scale their business, their passion-focused businesses, and overcome their fears and unpack their natural gifts to live out their greatest potential. So this is just one more conversation to move that dial forward, and let's dive in. So I've kind of been doing a series of conversations about speaking, about getting visible, and it is what totally catapulted my business and changed the course about 6 years ago. So it really makes the difference, and I'm here to be your brave cheerleader to help you step into that in a much bigger way. And no matter what your profession, doesn't matter. And so, you know, if you're already speaking, awesome. I want you to bring it to the next level. What can you do and how can you play bigger, right? But if you're new to it, or you're launching a business, or you're just in that emerging entrepreneur stage, this is a perfect conversation for you. So let's start with the myths and let's just break them down. Again, I've dived deeper into this in my Brave Speaker online course. If you want to learn more about that, you can certainly reach out to me. So number 1, can't make money speaking for free. It sounds true, right? If you're speaking for free, you didn't make any money. But of course, it's a myth. And the truth is that the speak to offer model works like a charm, especially if you know the systems and the structure of the talk and how to move people to a decision. And I know that that's where people struggle, because that's what I did. I struggled with it in the beginning. I would miss the mark. I would forget to ask them to work with me or to continue with me in some way. I wouldn't open up and be vulnerable about where I've come through, what things I've come through, and what my story is all about. There are just all these different aspects to making that work. And the truth is, can't make money speaking for free is a myth. That's basically all that I've done to build my business. So I speak for free, I invite people to a conversation, and then I make money. So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2 is people care about the content most. What I have found and what I have also observed, just my reaction to speakers, I see a lot of them on stages. I go to a lot of events and conferences, and I know very clearly which speakers resonate with me, which connect with me just viscerally. Like, I resonate, right? And it's not about just the content. Of course, I love to learn something, but it's so much more than that, right? It's about the vulnerability. It's about connecting to the humanness. So people care about the content most is a myth, and I absolutely love helping people figure out what they need to fill in, what's the filler in their talks in order to make that work for you, work for them, and not be so focused in on the content. Because here's I'll just tell you a quick insight on this. Is one of my very first gigs, why I was so nervous and so scared to stand up there is I was afraid I was going to forget my words. I was afraid I was going to, forget a point I was going to make, all that. And so that right there is about focusing on content. And if I go there to lecture, if I go there to live by a syllabus and that's all I'm there to do, then yeah, I probably am going to forget some words unless I have it on note cards or a PowerPoint and I have to read the words and all of that. So that's not the intention of Speak for Free in my book. It's about being the expert. It's certainly, you know what you know, so you shouldn't have to worry so much about forgetting your words. However, if you're really trying to focus content-wise, and the good news is that's not the most important part. So yay, right? Myth number 2, people care about the content most is false. Number 3, 100% prepared before getting the gig. This one's fun to talk about. So I'm going to talk about a little bit more of this on a next training. So stay tuned for that. But the thing is, being 100% prepared before getting the gig is just another term for procrastination. So the point is you don't have to have your entire talk spelled out. Yeah, you should know like your topic, but that generally is just what you solve for people, right? It's what kind of conversations do you have with clients, right? So 100% prepared, though, is not necessary to get the gig. Get the gig, then get prepared, right? So that's number 3. That's the myth number 3. Number 4 is I have to be an extrovert. Guess what? I'm not. I'm not an extrovert. I'm more of an introvert. I really would prefer to just, sit behind my computer and, and sit in the audience. I did it for years. It was very comfortable. And so there's a difference between those that just naturally are like out there and want to be in front of the stage and always in front of the group. And that's not me. However, I have a mission, I have a calling, I have a purpose, and I know I want to help people. And so I have to get over it, right? And it's okay to be introverted. It's okay to stand up there and just be you. You may want to practice elevating your energy like I am, right? And, put a smile on, right? If you're more shy and introverted, which I grew up as, like I was desperately shy, like it was crazy. But I would just do things that would start to, help me get out of that, right? I promise you, I almost failed the public speaking course I took at like 19 years old. So, but I put myself through it, so I could practice and learn. So if you're not an extrovert, it's really okay. So you do not need to be an extrovert at all. Actually, just being real and being who you are is going to get you a lot farther. So if you're an extrovert, awesome, but an introvert works just as well. So I promise. All right, number 5, the final myth that I want to talk about today is it's so hard to get a gig. And it's just not true. There's tons of people looking for speakers. And honestly, if you declare that you're a speaker and you start to open up that space and just make that decision, things are going to start to show up. And when you start speaking, actually the gigs even become easier to get because people are like, oh, you're speaking. So, hey, can you speak at my meeting or at my event or what have you? I'd love to have you on my podcast or my stage, etc. So it's not that hard to get a gig, especially if you just start with getting the first few. And again, I share how, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in another training. And my program also dives deeper into these details as well. So it's so hard to get a gig is not true. You literally just have to start to look for it. Notice how, you start consciously thinking of, let's say, just recently I was like, a yellow car or something like that. And all of a sudden you see yellow cars everywhere. Yeah, that's what happens, right? So if you have just made the decision, I am a speaker and I have speaking gigs, then trust me that the wheels will start turning. The universe will have your back and be in your favor. So start declaring that now, right? If you want to start to speak up and get visible in your business. So know that speaking is about the long game. That is the most important point I want to put in your mind as we close out here, is that it's the long game, right? You get the gig, you put it on your calendar, you create your talk, you show up and deliver, and after that talk is when the work really begins. And you stay in conversation and relationship with the people you meet. So it's just the beginning, and yet it's one of the most powerful ways to get in front of a lot of people at once. So, and you can start with 10 people. Heck, I even had rooms where there was only like 3 or 4 or 5 people, and that's just who showed up in the room. And guess what? I delivered to those people that showed up, right? Because they walked through the door. So, it just doesn't matter how small. Yes, numbers matter. And ultimately you want to be speaking to larger groups if you want to leverage your time, right? But even 5 or 10 is way more than 1 at a time, right? So it's still very powerful. All right. Until next time, I would actually love for you to hit #replay if you've watched this video all the way through, and also share with me which myth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Resonated with you most? Like what really like, you're right, I'm making that up, or just something that really resonated. So, and then leave your takeaway below. I'd love to get some feedback about this. And just, again, let me know if you're a yes to speaking up in your business. I am your cheerleader, and I'm here to help you do that and get visible and ultimately, help more people. And that's why you're in business, right? Is to help more people. So, all right, we'll see you on the next training, and I can't wait to hear more about your takeaways. And I'll see you soon. Take care.